is Vidhi Kalra and welcome back to my channel 5 Minute Economics, where I teach economic concepts in a span of just 5 minutes. The topic for today is Lewis dual sector model of economic development, and in today's video I'll be talking about the introduction as well as the background of the topic, the assumptions, the entire working of the topic, and lastly about the criticisms. So yeah, let's get started. Also guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video in case you find it useful. So coming to the introduction of the topic, so as the name suggests, the model was given by W. Arthur Lewis, who is a Nobel Prize winner in the year 1954. This model is also known as the dual sector model or the unlimited supplies of labor model. Basically, this model aims to explain the growth of a developing economy in terms of labor transition between two sectors, which is the capitalist and the subsistence, that is the agricultural sector. So basically, under the Lewis model, we have the assumptions where we have taken two types of sectors. The first one being the capitalist, or also known as the industrial sector. Under this sector, we see that there is more of capital intensive manufacturing process, like more of machinery rather than the human or labor process. Secondly, we have higher average wages. We also have higher marginal as well as average productivity, and lastly, higher demand for labor. So this is what capitalist is. The total contrast of it is the subsistence or the agricultural sector. Over here we see that there is labor intensive production process, that is more of labor. Secondly, we also have low dependency on capital. Next, we have low marginal and average productivity, and lastly there are lower average wages. So right now I just explained to you the assumptions, or you can say the types of two sectors which Lewis has said under this model. But now I'll just talk about the actual assumptions under the model. So Lewis has assumed that in a developing economy, the agricultural sector has a surplus amount of unproductive labor. He has also specified that workers in the agricultural sector are attracted to the capitalist or the industrial sector on account of higher wages. Next, they have also said that wages in the capitalist sector are more or less, kind of fixed. And lastly, he has also mentioned that the profits which are earned in the industrial sector are reinvested in business in the form of fixed capital. So guys, now pay attention to the entire working of the model. So as I just explained to you that the industrial sector offers, high wages, which is very much attractive to the people who are working in the agricultural or the subsistence sector. And that is the reason they leave the agricultural sector and move towards the industrial sector because of higher wages. So what happens is that Lewis is trying to say that the agricultural sector, the people who were working over there, they were contributing so less, or the productivity of those laborers were so less that leaving the agricultural sector would actually have no impact on the output of that particular sector. In fact, the people over there in the village will benefit because now the same amount of food is available for a lesser number of people. So those who are in the village have benefited. Also, secondly, those who have moved to the town in search of a better job, they are also benefiting. How? Because now they are earning more. That is why they are benefiting. Now since they are earning more, there is higher income, which is always contributing to higher savings, and higher savings we know contributes towards more investment, which will ultimately lead to more capital and increased productivity. So this is kind of a circle or operation of how the Lewis model is. So moving ahead, giving you a whole summary or the crux of this entire model. So initially, labor, which is a variable factor, is employed upon land, which is the fixed factor. And we all have studied that, as more and more of labor or a variable factor is applied to a given quantity of fixed factor, it is obvious that diminishing marginal returns are sure to set in. What happens is then the excess labor, which was there, who were very much disguisedly employed and they were not contributing anything. They were, the surplus labor. They move ahead to the industrial sector because of the higher wages, as I just mentioned earlier, which leads to higher urban profits. And Lewis has assumed that these urban profits are then reinvested in the business. So this reinvestment leads to a growth within the sector, which ultimately shifts our PPF, that is the production possibility frontier, towards outwards. Okay, so here we have drawn it very much in a brief way. You can see that the PPF curve has shifted from this red line to the dotted red line because of higher profits which were generated when the laborers moved from the agricultural sector to the industrial sector. So lastly, coming to the criticisms of the model. So basically the criticisms are based on the assumptions taken by Lewis. So firstly, the model assumes that all the profits will be reinvested in the business. This is not true. This doesn't happen always. Secondly, the model assumes that there are a large number of unproductive labor in the agricultural sector. That is definitely not true. Maybe certain time of the year, when there is no harvest season, that time there are a large number of people who are unproductive, but not throughout the year. And in fact, transferring of people from the agricultural to the industrial sector will definitely lead to a reduction of the output, whereas Lewis has said there will be no change in the output. Next, mobility of labor is not that easy. It is not easy to jump skip from one sector to the other. And lastly, savings are also done by the subsistence sector, which have been clearly ignored, and they have only taken savings done by the industrial sector. So this is all about the Lewis model, guys. I hope this video was useful for you. Please do like my video and subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in the next video pretty soon.